Your wrinkles are not the reason you look older. It's not your gray hair either. The real culprit is sitting right above your eyes, your eyebrows. The wrong shape, the wrong color, or even the wrong arch can silently add 10, 15, even 20 years to your face. Most women over 50 have no idea they're making these mistakes every single day. But once you see it, you'll never look at your reflection the same way again. When most women think about looking younger, they rush to skincare, hair dye, or clothes. They obsess over wrinkles, sagging skin, or thinning hair. But very few stop to think about the feature that frames the entire face, the eyebrows. And yet eyebrows are often the single most powerful detail that decides whether you look tired and aged, or vibrant and youthful. Think of your face as a painting. No matter how beautiful the colors are, without the right frame, the artwork doesn't shine. Your eyebrows are that frame. They give structure, balance, and lift to your face. And as women age, that frame often becomes damaged, neglected, or reshaped in ways that make the whole face look older than it truly is. What's shocking is that many women don't even realize it's happening. They'll spend hundreds of dollars on creams, fillers, or salon treatments while their eyebrows are silently adding 10, 15, even 20 years to their appearance. Here's why eyebrows matter more than you think. Over time, the natural density of brow hair decreases. Hormonal shifts after menopause cause the hairs to thin and fall out, leaving gaps. Years of overplucking, a habit so common in the 70s and 80s, leaves scars on the follicles, preventing regrowth. For some women, brows that were once thick and expressive fade into thin lines or patchy arcs that make the eyes look smaller and the face appear tired. And because the brows sit at the top of the face, they play a direct role in how lifted or drooped your features seem. A poorly shaped brow can drag your whole expression downward. The worst part is how subtle it is. You might not notice day by day, but slowly your brows lose their shape, their fullness, their natural softness. And when that happens, people stop noticing your eyes, your smile, your expressions. Instead, they notice the hollow, tired frame surrounding them. Women often blame wrinkles or dark circles for looking older, but in reality, it's often the brows that are aging them silently. Think about it. What happens when the eyebrows are too thin? The face looks harsh, washed out, and overly exposed. What happens when they're too dark or drawn in with a heavy pencil? The features harden, making the skin look paler and older by contrast. And when they are uneven or arched incorrectly, the whole face looks unbalanced, almost distorted. These are not small mistakes. They are decisions that can make the difference between looking fresh at 65 or exhausted at 55. Picture two women of the same age, both 62. One has thin, overplucked brows, penciled in with a shade too dark for her hair. Her eyes look smaller, her skin washed out, and every wrinkle around her forehead and eyes looks sharper because there is no softness to balance them. The other has brows shaped with care, filled with a natural powder in the right shade, and gently arched to lift her eyes. She looks not just younger, but more awake, more alive. The difference between them is not a facelift or Botox, it's eyebrows. And here's the surprising truth. Eyebrows are one of the cheapest, fastest, and most effective ways to transform your entire look. Unlike expensive creams that take months to show results, or salon treatments that cost hundreds, correcting your brows can make a difference in minutes. The problem is that most women are making the wrong choices without realizing it. They cling to old habits, old styles, or outdated ideas of what brows should look like, and in doing so, they let their eyebrows age them instead of saving them. Even celebrities, with all their access to stylists and makeup artists, have been caught making these mistakes. You'll see women on the red carpet with brows drawn on too harshly, creating a severe, almost angry look. Others leave their brows too light, nearly invisible under stage lights, making their face look flat. If women with professional help can get it wrong, how many everyday women are unknowingly sabotaging their appearance? But here's the empowering part. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. Once you understand the impact of eyebrows on aging, you'll start to notice it everywhere. You'll notice how brows can lift a drooping eye, how they can soften wrinkles, how they can brighten an entire expression. You'll see how much younger some women look simply because they have brows that are fuller, softer, and shaped to their face, not against it. So the next time you look in the mirror, don't just stare at your wrinkles or your hair. Look closely at your eyebrows. Ask yourself, are they helping me look alive, or are they dragging my whole face down? Because the truth is simple, your brows are either your best-kept secret or your most dangerous mistake. If eyebrows are the frame of your face, then shaping them incorrectly is like hanging a priceless painting in a broken frame. You may not notice at first, but everyone else does. And unfortunately, as women age, many fall into eyebrow habits that quietly age them, a decade or more. Let's uncover the most common and the most damaging mistakes women over 50 and 60 make with their brows. The first mistake is overplucking. For decades, thin brows were in fashion. In the 70s and 80s, magazines encouraged women to tweeze their brows into thin lines. Many women grew up in that era, and the habit stuck. The problem is that as we age, brows naturally thin on their own. Add years of overplucking, and suddenly what should be a soft, full frame becomes little more than a faint pencil mark above the eye. Thin brows don't just make you look older. They make your face look harsher, more severe, and more tired. And the worst part? Overplucking often damages the follicle permanently, so those hairs never grow back. The second mistake is using the wrong color. Too often, women fill in their brows with pencils or powders that are far too dark. Jet black, harsh brow products may look dramatic, but on mature skin, they create a sharp contrast that highlights wrinkles, fine lines, and sagging skin. Instead of lifting the face, the brows weigh it down, making every flaw more visible. On the other hand, some women go too light, using shades that are nearly invisible. This washes out the face, leaving it flat and expressionless. Both extremes age you. The key is subtlety, but too many women swing from one extreme to the other. Another mistake is ignoring the arch. The arch of your brow is like the peak of a mountain. It creates lift, direction, and energy. A well-placed arch opens the eyes, making you look more awake and alert. But many women either pluck away their arch entirely, leaving a flat, lifeless brow, or create a dramatic, overdrawn arch that looks artificial and even clownish. Both mistakes draw negative attention and add years. Without the right arch, the eyes appear droopy and the whole face looks tired. The fourth mistake is uneven brows. As skin loses elasticity with age, brows can naturally begin to droop at different rates. One brow may sit lower than the other, making the face look asymmetrical. Instead of correcting this gently, many women overcompensate with makeup, drawing one brow too high or too thick. The result? Brows that look like they belong to two different people. Symmetry is one of the most important aspects of beauty. When the brows are mismatched, it immediately signals imbalance, making you look older and more fatigued. Then there's the mistake of ignoring grey hairs. Many women accept grey in their brows without grooming, trimming, or blending it. While grey hair can be graceful on the head, in the brows it often looks wiry, coarse, and patchy. Left unchecked, grey brow hairs can make the brows look messy and unkempt, creating the impression of neglect. What could be easily softened or tinted instead becomes another feature that highlights age. Another common mistake is overdrawing. In an attempt to fix thinning brows, many women resort to drawing thick, heavy lines with pencils. These drawn-on brows look stiff, unnatural, and distracting. Instead of softening the face, they harden it. Instead of blending, they shout for attention. And in the harsh daylight, they rarely look as flattering as they do in the bathroom mirror. Overdrawn brows are often described as angry or surprised, two expressions no woman wants permanently etched onto her face. The seventh mistake is neglecting maintenance altogether. Some women, discouraged by thinning or patchy brows, simply give up. They stop shaping, trimming, or filling them in. But brows that are ignored often grow in unevenly, with stray hairs weighing down the shape. This not only looks untidy, it makes the eyes appear smaller and the entire face less vibrant. Neglect is just as aging as overdoing it. The eighth mistake is following outdated trends. In the world of beauty, eyebrow fashions shift every decade. Thin in the 70s, thick in the 2000s, laminated in the 2020s. But for women over 60, chasing trends often backfires. A laminated, glossy brow may look strange on mature skin. Overly bushy brows drawn to mimic youth look artificial. The mistake here isn't experimenting. It's not tailoring the look to your age and your face. A brow should enhance, not compete with your natural beauty. And finally, the biggest mistake of all is underestimating their power. Too many women assume that brows are a minor detail, not worth much thought. They believe wrinkles, sagging skin, or hair loss are the real enemies of youth. But ask any professional makeup artist. Correcting brows is one of the fastest, cheapest, and most effective ways to take years off your appearance. Neglecting them is like cleaning your entire house, but leaving the windows dirty. The whole picture still looks unfinished. What unites all these mistakes is one thing. They are preventable. You don't need expensive surgeries or endless salon visits to fix them. You don't need to follow impossible beauty standards. What you need is awareness. Because the truth is, your brows are quietly deciding whether your face looks vibrant and awake or dull and aged. And every wrong choice, whether it's overplucking, harsh color, or ignoring maintenance, pushes you closer to the latter. Now that we've seen the mistakes, the question is simple. What can you do to bring your eyebrows back to life? Because the truth is, eyebrows don't just age you, they can also save you. With the right care, the right shape, and the right products, your brows can act like a natural facelift, instantly softening lines, opening your eyes, and restoring vibrancy to your face. Let's explore the solutions that truly work. The first step is rethinking the shape. The goal for women over 50 is not to chase the thin lines of the past or the exaggerated bushy brows of today's trends. Instead, it's about balance. Brows should be slightly fuller, with a soft arch that follows your natural bone structure. A well-placed arch lifts the eye, making you look more awake. But it doesn't need to be dramatic. Think of it like tailoring clothes. When brows fit the shape of your face, everything looks younger. To achieve this, put down the tweezers and focus instead on gentle grooming. Remove only stray hairs, never the main shape. The second solution is choosing the right color. A common rule of thumb. Select a brow shade that is 1 to 2 shades lighter than your hair if your hair is dark, and 1 to 2 shades darker if your hair is light or gray. This creates harmony without harshness. For example, if your hair is silver gray, using a soft taupe or light brown brow pencil adds definition without making your features look severe. If your hair is dark brown, a medium brown pencil keeps brows visible but natural. Avoid jet black at all costs. It rarely flatters mature skin. The third fix is filling brows correctly. Instead of drawing a single line, use short, feather-like strokes that mimic real hair. Pencils, powders, or brow pens designed for microstrokes create a more natural effect. Always start light. It's easier to add than to erase. Blend with a spoolie brush to soften edges. The goal is never to make people notice your brows, but to make them notice your face. Well-filled brows should disappear into your look, giving you a fresher, more lifted appearance without anyone knowing why. Another powerful tool is brow gel, A clear or lightly tinted gel can tame wiry grey hairs and keep brows in place all day. Think of it as hairspray for your brows, but softer. For women with sparse areas, tinted gels with fibers can add instant volume. They're quick, easy and subtle, perfect for daily wear without feeling overdone. For women ready to invest more, microblading can be life-changing when done correctly. This semi-permanent technique implants tiny strokes of pigment into the skin, mimicking natural hair. The key is subtlety. Avoid overly dark or blocky styles. A good technician can restore the brows you once had in a way that looks natural even up close. It's not for everyone, but for women frustrated by patchy brows, it can be a powerful option. Beyond makeup, nutrition, and care matter. Just as your hair and nails reflect what you eat, so do your brows. Protein, biotin, and omega-3s support hair growth even in the eyebrows. Gentle oils, like castor oil, massaged onto the brows at night, may encourage stronger, healthier hairs over time. While results vary, the act of caring for your brows builds a routine of attention that keeps them looking their best. But perhaps the most overlooked fix is the lift of confidence. Women often underestimate how much their expression changes when their brows change. Correcting droopy, sparse brows doesn't just frame your eyes better, it makes you carry yourself differently. You smile more, you feel more polished, and you project a younger energy that no wrinkle cream can buy. Eyebrows don't just change your look, they change your presence. Let's imagine again. Two women, both 65. One has left her brows thin, grey and uneven, convinced that there's nothing she can do. She spends money on creams and hairstyles, but something always looks unfinished. The other takes 20 minutes each morning to softly fill her brows, brushing them into place with a gel, choosing a shade that flatters her silver hair. Her face looks brighter, her eyes more open. When people see her, they don't notice her brows. They notice her energy. They can't explain why she looks 10 years younger, but the secret is simple. It's in the frame. The real message is this. Your brows are not gone, and your youth is not lost. No matter your age, you can take back control. Whether you start with a pencil and spoolie or explore professional treatments, every step you take brings you closer to the vibrant, youthful face that's still yours. It's not about chasing trends or hiding your age. It's about honoring your features with the care they deserve. So the next time you stand in front of the mirror, don't just glance past your brows. Look at them closely. Ask yourself, are they helping me look alive or are they dragging me down? Because your brows are either your silent enemy or your secret weapon. And with just a few small changes, they can become the reason people look at you and say, "She looks incredible for her age."